Well, hello, my beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for March 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your monthly reading for March. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome, so let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know regarding the month ahead, March 2025? What lies in store? Please show them the way. Well, March has come around already. I really can't believe it, but here we are, and I just have to give it to you straight. This is the month to expect the unexpected. We have 2 major eclipses occurring this month, and eclipses mean that life, well, it can change on a dime. Now, that doesn't mean that the change will be negative, of course, because there are so many incredible opportunities available to you this month too. But these eclipses, they can literally fling you out of your comfort zone and influence you to make radical changes. This is the month of the wake-up call, and it's just in time for the astrological start to the year, which heralds the gateway to the spring or the autumn equinox, depending on where you are in the world, of course. Spring cleaning of the soul, anyone? Or is it more of an autumn declutter of the heart? Well, the first full moon eclipse occurs in the sign of Virgo. So I would say expect this to really influence your productivity. You're locked onto your goals, completing tasks to super high standards, getting them out of the way and on to the next. Organization mode will be fully activated. I'd also say expect to pay more attention to your health goals too this month, because it does influence that area of your life and your chart. Now, this full moon eclipse, it will amplify so many mixed emotions, but it is the perfect time to release and let go of pressure, stress, or anything that's been weighing you down. However, it could make you feel a little bit critical or cranky, so don't forget to be compassionate towards your wonderful self. Now, we've officially moved into Pisces season, so whilst you're busy making life happen for you, you'll feel compelled to let your imagination run wild. Maybe catch up with friends, romance your life a little bit more with art, festivals, music, or whatever floats your boat, and really surrender to the inner poet. Your sensitivity may be running at an all-time high, encouraging you to embrace the mystical side of life as well. Now, you'll have a healthy balance between nurturing your dreams whilst taking a practical approach to make them become a reality. You may also be drawn to health practices such as lymphatic drainage or reflexology to stay on top of your foot health. Now, this month is the month to get back on track, and as we move into Aries season, it's a perfect time to launch new projects or lifestyle changes, and Venus's retrograde might even see an ex reach out too. But with Mercury retrograding at the same time, the message will probably end up going straight to your spam folder. Now, we may also see apps or technology temporarily glitching and the odd power outage due to freak storms. Now, we do have a huge shift occurring this month that I need to talk about. Neptune returns to the sign of Aries, and this is a big deal for many reasons, but on a personal level, it's mainly positive. It amplifies where you feel confused or frustrated in your life, so you'll find clarity or solutions to course correct. Anything that you haven't gotten around to starting, well, this month you'll face it head on and launch straight into action. This shift, it also continues humanity towards a grand awakening. And those who've been asleep, as it were, start to awaken, and we can already feel it, but you'll actively notice more people questioning the status quo, seeking more mindfulness, and reaching out to groups or communities that align with similar beliefs or values. This shift is so significant. I mean, the last time this occurred was 1861 to 1875, and we only have to look back at what occurred during this time to see what we might expect in the coming years. It really is a big deal for society. New structures are being ushered in. Now, globally, and please fast forward if you don't really wish to hear this part, I've been a little bit concerned with the combination of the following transition, especially since Mars, planet of passion and fiery clashes, is currently direct in the sign of Cancer. This triggers emotional responses to conflict, and Venus, planet of love and harmony, it makes a rare retrograde from the 1st of March to the 12th of April. Now, these two planets have been keeping a lid on various conflicts escalating to unmanageable boiling points. Until now, and I really hope I'm wrong, but we may see an escalation of hotbed situations as we approach April, and also as Pisces energy shifts to Aries season, of course, during this month, we could see a leader of faith leave the earthly plane and a replacement who has already been prepared for the role step into a very challenging environment. Now, when I was preparing the monthlies, my guides gave me a sentence and an image, and I'll just give you what I was given, and you make of it what you will. But I was given, I see the smoke. It is already written. Okay, so I'll move on from that. But economically, Neptune in Aries, it zeroes in on core inflation. And of course, this energy can amplify. However, we might only see the full effects when Saturn retrogrades in the middle of July. And with 2 eclipses this month, we may see a financial wobble, but everything is being held together by Saturn right now. And we'll also see more political leaders step down or be replaced, if you know what I mean. I mean, even someone who has not held office long. And I can't tell you if this part is from March, but I've seen the framework of this in my visions, of course, that it's already being prepared for. So it will happen, and corruption, of course, will continue to be outed in all walks of life. I mean, 2025 is actually shaping up to be a real eye-opener of truth, as I mentioned in the yearlies, and that's across the board. I mean, we're already seeing an increase of seismic activity as well, even in areas not prone to it. But the Ring of Fire, which extends through Tonga all the way to Chile, it will become more active over the coming months, especially as we move through Aries season. And I mentioned in my yearly forecast, underwater volcanoes would also activate, and we've already seen confirmation of this in the Aegean Sea since January, and there is more to come. I mean, at the end of the day, the Earth's plates, they move all the time, but we are literally in a period where landscapes are like reshaping, both personally and in terms of the Earth. And as we approach the super new moon, which of course it does, it coincides with a solar eclipse. So this is going to be massive energy on the 29th. But on a personal level, it's going to feel like a fresh new start across the board. Your passion, your curiosity, your thirst for adventure, it'll all increase. And bold and daring, you ambitiously stride towards your dreams and goals, accessing double the luck along the way. So anything that you've been meaning to start, begin it now, especially before Mercury turns retrograde. I mean, if you do start anything in a Mercury retrograde, it doesn't mean that it's going to be negative. It just means that, you know, there may be some minor delays, or you may have to reflect a little bit more, tweak a plan, or return to something, you know. But if you are launching something and it has to be in a Mercury retrograde, then of course, go for it. It's still going to be awesome. It just means that more thought goes into it, and you may have to return to it at some point in order to, you know, improve it in some way, shall we say. Now, this period, it charges your intentions, it supports new ventures, and even breathes new life into anything that you already have in motion to amplify more rewarding results. And I can see here, especially with the Emperor energy and the Ten of Pentacles, you're all about business this month, you know. And what I mean by business, this doesn't mean you have to be in a career. It can be that you're keeping life running smoothly. It means that you're being strict with yourself. It means that you're focused on your finances, creating stability. I feel that, you know, your family or your soul tribe, they're really, you know, looking up to you at all that you're doing right now. And I see here that a lot of you are being like super strict with yourself this month regarding some sort of personal development plan, or, you know, basically trying to do more things that you love this month. I mean, your first card there is the marriage card. Okay. Now, this can also be something that is symbolic as well as literal. So, you know, a lot of you, if you are married already, it can be that with that Page of Wands and the Queen of Swords, you've been thinking of how to keep that spark in the relationship going, even though there's a lot of responsibilities and, you know, life, it's challenging and it can be just a little bit hard right now. And, you know, you feel like you're at capacity, you're holding it all together, but it can be that you and your partner, you know, you have not been neglecting your relationship needs. I feel it's more that spark, especially with that Page of Wands, you and your partner may have huge conversations this month about where you feel like you belong, whether you want to move. You may may be thinking about your home, like real estate, passive income, really working together as a team in order to, you know, fulfill a destiny of leaving something behind, but embracing so much more, if that makes sense, okay? Now, of course, for some of you beautiful Capricorns, you may actually be getting married this month. And if that's you, congratulations. I feel like you're going to have an incredible day. I do see that there is one person here who is, you know, a little bit cold or a little bit detached. This person is going to come around. So if you've had to invite someone to your wedding, perhaps they're a family member, or perhaps you've decided not to invite this person, you know, I feel they will come round to your way of thinking about something, okay? So if they are invited, I see them behaving themselves. Okay, if there's someone who is very complex, I mean, you may be judging the situation because we do have the adjudication card right there. But with the Three of Swords and the Temperance, Three of Swords is in a resistance position. So it tells me that, you know, this person, it's like they're holding themselves to account. They're apologetic for perhaps the way they have been acting. And with that Temperance in the resistance position, it's like this person was being selfish, or they felt out of control of the situation and they were sulking, or they were trying to pull rank or, you know, power play in some way. But this person, they're just going to be like, psh, they're not going to say a thing, okay? So they're not going to rain on your parade if you are getting married and there's someone who is a little bit like a wild card, shall we say. It can be that, you know, you're a little bit nervous about that, but I actually see that they're going to hold themselves in high honor. You know, they don't want to be judged by other people as well, because they're aware that, you know, there's lots of people at the event. So I'm just going to leave that there, but you're going to have a magical day indeed. So enjoy the moment there. I mean, for some of you, your partner, if you are in a high-level commitment, but you haven't got engaged yet, I feel like your partner could actually, you know, have a little quick trip in mind and really like get down on one knee in like high honor there and ask you to marry them, okay? So this is a month where all the romance and all the kind of like practical aspects of it as well are in play here, because the Emperor energy is someone who is securing their future, someone who, you know, knows that they want to settle down, knows that they want you to be part of their 5-year plan or their life plan there. So this is a big deal for couples this month. Also, I would say more than relationships, because of course this is about relationships in general. It could be that you're focused on, you know, who gets to spend time with you or where you actually marry your time or your attention to. So it can be the things that you connect to. I mean, the marriage card is all about agreements, you know, proposals, understandings, like contracts, deals, you know. So there could be like a deal that you do this month that you're locking onto, because the Queen of Swords is very strategic. It's about negotiating better deals, for example. And this can be that, you know, you're looking at your service providers, perhaps, you know, you're seeing how much your internet costs and perhaps there's a better deal elsewhere. Could be that you're releasing yourself from a contract, or you're actually, you know, searching for alternatives at this time. It could be like you're getting a better deal on your energy, for example, or perhaps you have a subscription that you feel you don't utilize anymore and you're cutting it out. You know, this marriage can indicate that you're already tied to a contract, or you have something that you're bonded to at this time, because of course it is in your protagonist energy. So this means something existing in your life right now. This is how you're approaching March. There's something that perhaps you're thinking about releasing yourself from, or perhaps, you know, cutting it out or downsizing in some way, because you know, you want to be free from it, because the Page of Wands is to be free, to explore. It's, you know, bold and daring. It's like, okay, I've had this going on for quite some time. I'm not really sure if it benefits me anymore, because you have a Three of Swords in the resistance position, which means, you know, something that perhaps has not been working or has been a bit of a struggle. If you're always on the cell phone to customer services on hold for something, for example, and you're like, look, I got this service from you and it's not being fulfilled. I feel this is the time for you to like make or break decision and say, you know what, I've had enough of this. I am drawing a line in the sand and saying no. So I definitely see here that a lot of you with that Queen of Swords, you're being really precise, you know. It's almost like you're so direct about your month this month that you are kind of like making some very harsh changes like across the board. So you know, Queen of Swords is in your protagonist energy, so it can be that you are structured, you know, you're serious about making life work for you. Things may have been challenging there, so I do see that you're being disciplined with your time. And because there's two kind of action cards here, some of you may even be like signing a deal for a second job or a second stream of income. For some of you, this could be that, you know, you are having a deal as in a brand deal. If you're someone who's an influencer, because the Queen of Swords tends to be very business savvy, especially with that Emperor energy. I mean, there's two people here as well. So it could be that if you're looking for love, or even if you're looking for a business alliance, this is the month to partner up. But I would say if it's a contract with a business, make sure you look at the fine details, because I'm seeing some glasses in the water right now, which means look at the fine print or look at the structure of it. Does it benefit you in some way? And that's across the board. Even if you're purchasing something that is on hire purchase, repayment plans, I feel like you are making sure that you get a good deal. You're not just taking things at face value there, okay? But coming back to that Queen of Swords, I feel this is about you perhaps connecting to things that benefit you long term and cutting out things that, you know, really do not benefit you. Queen of Swords always turns her back to the past. And this is not a gender specific reading. It just means that you are well organized and saying, actually, I know what I need in my life right now, what benefits me and how things are ticking over, so that you can like get your life running smoothly to a certain degree, so you can go off and explore, have more time for you, try and fit in a bit more spontaneity and adventure into your life. But I feel like you have a lot of responsibilities this month as well. And doesn't mean you're not going to have fun, okay? I just want you to be aware of that. Queen of Swords means that you're adhering to all of those responsibilities and tasks, and that you are someone who is getting things done quicker. I'm actually seeing an image right now of a finishing line, okay? So I feel a lot of you, whatever you have in motion right now, if there's a task or a responsibility that's been going on for some time, it can be that you actually finally complete it this month because you're going to be super productive. But also I feel some news comes in, you know, in the first 3 weeks of March that really gives you something to think about and explore, and it's something that you're enthusiastic about. I mean, the Page of Wands is like a bold and daring kind of energy. It's the explorative card to go off and do something like really different from your family or your soul tribe, for example. Page of Wands is about reigniting that spark for life, being really active. I mean, some of you, it can be that, you know, you're trying to juggle your responsibilities with your activities. So, you know, you may be in training for something or promising yourself to be more active this month, but also you've got stuff to do. So it can be, can you, reschedule some of the things that you've got to do, or, work smarter, not harder, get up earlier, because this is the early card. So it can be that you are planning to get up early every day this month in order to action something, so you have more free time for you, or you have more time for fun there as well. I mean, Queen of Swords means reviewing something, or really kind of like seeking purpose and clarity of your intentions. And your ninth house is influencing you at the beginning of the month. So I'm not surprised to see this card, because that energy from that house is all about the quest for meaning, life's purpose. It really is like there needs to be more to life than this. So now you're seeking it. You're trying to reschedule your life, or, maybe restructure some things in your life so you can go off and explore what else there is on offer for you at this time. But, this is about reestablishing a connection with your higher self. You're taking the moral high ground on something. For some of you, this could be a complicated argument or conflict that you have been going through recently. I feel like you are taking the moral high ground on this, removing yourself from drama and just doing you, prioritizing your own needs. And this person, I see that they will judge the situation given the time and the breath that you kind of like step away from it. And with that Three of Swords, it's in the resistance position, which always means an apology or someone coming towards you with an olive branch in some way, saying, hey, you know what? I acted out of turn. I was irrational, or, I made a mistake, or I jumped in too fast and I made a judgment and it was harsh and it was wrong. So I really feel you could be having a conversation like that with someone this month as well. This could be a boss, it could be a neighbor, it could be a family member. I mean, for some of you, we do have the adjudication there, and I would say for some of you, because we got the marriage card there, I mean, I'm getting a couple of energies, okay? One is, for some of you, if you have like a car, or if you have like, I just feel like a fine for something if you haven't paid something. It could be that, you're sent a letter, for example, that kind of like calls you to task on something. And it may be something that either you overlooked, and this is not going to resonate with everyone, so I don't want anyone freaking out there, but it could be something that comes in. But the only reason I am mentioning it is because I feel like you learn a lesson in it, and the lesson could be, for some of you, to check your hard copy mail. For example, it could be something that was time sensitive, but I feel there is compensation, or you get it overturned in some way, because the Five of Cups is like you're looking at, how did I miss this? Or, you're so disappointed that this happened, but the Two of Cups is always in the background of a Five of Cups. It means actually there's reward, or something is given back to you. So I do feel that perhaps if you have like a parking fine or a speeding fine, for example, I feel there's this energy here of you saying, okay, I must have missed that, because the Five of Cups is to miss something or lament something, or just feel like, I really regret that, but I just didn't see it. Or there was, I feel like you explain yourself and you're really honest. I mean, the High Honor indicates that you're coming from a really good place, and that Ten of Pentacles, there's like compensation, or it can indicate that, it's overturned. So that's something that's coming out there as well. I mean, the Queen of Swords, though, indicates, I would check all your hard copy mail this month, because there's definitely some sort of mail coming through, both positive and the potential there for like, I don't want to say it's a red letter, but it could be like, because we've got the Temperance card in the Resistance position, it's a disruptive thing. It's something that you have to do out of the norm, like call customer services, or, call an officiating like body that says, you owe us this. And you're like, well, no, I think you've missed this payment I made back a couple of months ago. And they're like, oh, it was overlooked, sorry. So it may be that they overlooked something and they've made a mistake, and you're actually, calling them out on it, but also you're admirable, saying, you know what, I know we're all human, we all make a mistake, and computers, sometimes they glitch, I get it. But it gets overturned, and you're like, well, I'm glad that I called up. And I feel like you're glad that you were all business about it, but also, you're understanding about it as well there, okay? Now, Queen of Swords with that ninth house, I feel like you may be compelled to book like a spiritual retreat for some of you, if you're lucky enough to be able to be in that position, or maybe even a staycation where you can really just get clear in your intentions, because this card is like, what do I want to affiliate myself with? If you're an entrepreneur, because this is a very sort of entrepreneurial energy with a Queen of Swords and an Emperor, if these are aspects of self, this is you being really clear, about to launch something, about to start something with that Page of Wands there. And the Emperor energy, it could literally be that you're launching your own business, or you're launching a branch of something that you do already, or you're branching out, or maybe you're trying a new style, or being a little bit more bold with whatever it is that you're doing right now. And it can indicate that either there is some sort of like platform that you want to affiliate yourself with, or perhaps you are partnering up in business. Maybe there's a brand deal. I see a contract here. It actually puts you in a position of authority. I feel like your message gets out, and I feel it brings in lots of money for you, because the Ten of Pentacles indicates, you being able to be financially savvy, but also attracting more wealth, more abundance there. So it could be something you're doing from the home space. Also, I'm getting this energy that for some of you, if you have been going through a divorce, okay, or you've been going through a separation and it's been a very challenging time, I feel with that Three of Swords, you are putting the heartbreak behind you, and you may have felt like, oh, you know what, maybe I'll never love again, or I'll never find a person. But I feel this is a great month if you're single to find love. You're meeting someone who actually, has high honor, someone who is, respectful and protective of the sanctity of love, someone who knows what they want, they're emotionally available. And I feel like there's a real energy here of you having loved and lost in the past, but actually there was a reason, because you're always meant to meet your divine counterpart, someone who has been laid out for you, who will love you in the way that you've been hoping for. And I really feel that as soon as you meet this person, you can see your future with this person, and you just kind of know that, you'll settle down with them. But the Queen of Swords says, you're not going to rush into it. You're just going to like secretly keep that image or that feeling to yourself, but you will explore the relationship, okay? And you will not rush into it, is my point. I mean, some of you, if you are finalizing a divorce, it could come through, and it makes you start thinking about, where did the love go? Or, how can things change so drastically? But I feel like with this Queen of Swords, you're kind of like distancing yourself, or you are very cerebral this month, thinking about, people, and, how you can think that they are one thing and suddenly they turn out to be another, or how things, because you have the Judgment card there. So it is like you looking at people and how they may disappoint you, for example, or how they bring a level of chaos that you don't need in your life right now, and you're just like keeping it at arm's length, because that's what the Queen of Swords does. You know, the sword is up, the hand is out. It's like, okay, I'm willing to hear you, but you just stay right there, okay, because I've got higher boundaries right now, and I feel like you can't cross them until you learn how to cross them respectfully, okay? So we've got that Page of Wands, so this means this is a very curious month for you, but also pages bring news. So I'd say there's something that you're really enthusiastic about this month. I mean, this card can mean that you're taking the initiative on something that you've been thinking about or strategizing for some time. Whatever it is, it's connected to your fourth house as well, which is all about stability. For some of you, it's the home life. It is you like creating a sanctuary, settling down. You know, you may actually do a deal regarding some real estate this month. Again, pay close attention to the ins and outs of the contract or the lease there. Also, you know, this can be domesticity. It can be that you're launching a business from home or decluttering your home and seeing items that perhaps you don't utilize anymore, and you can, you know, sell pre-loved goods for more money, because the Ten of Pentacles indicates that you are financially attracting more wealth in many different ways. So it could be that you're brainstorming right now how to do something that you're excited about, that you're passionate about, and launch something that will bring in extra money. Now, if you're someone who works in a company, for example, I mean, behind the scenes, I mean, this doesn't look good, right? We've got the Adjudication card, we've got the Three of Swords in the reverse, and we got the Temperance card. So it can indicate, as it's in the reverse, that if you work for a company, things behind the scenes are a little bit chaotic right now. Maybe the industry that you work in is in turmoil, or, you know, it's like there's redundancies or people being let go of, and it can indicate that, you know, there's a restlessness about the industry, and it's like you're ready to act. So it could be that you're putting your resume out there, putting, you know, the feelers out for alternative opportunities. But I see a lot of you actually being offered some sort of role in your current circumstances. Now, if you're not happy where you're at, of course, then, you know, you're going to find an alternative opportunity come in that gives you more status, more responsibility. You will work harder in this, if that's even possible, because you tend to work really hard, my beautiful Capricorn, but there's also more money as well. This is like top money for the role that's being offered here. So I do see that you're going to get a good deal, okay? But for some of you, there is this energy of there's two. Okay, so either you work for a company and you're being offered a role and you're like, okay, I'd like to stay, but that's not enough money. And if you cannot negotiate a better deal, then I'm gone. So it feels like you may have something else lined up that actually pays more money. So you may have to turn something down, because I'm seeing that Five of Cups as you like stepping away from or turning something down that you used to enjoy or used to love doing. Okay, and this doesn't have to be just applied to a career. It can be like a neighborhood. You know, maybe you're thinking about leaving a neighborhood because you feel like it's changed, or you've changed, you've outgrown it in some way. For some of you, it can be that friendships are evolving and you feel that you can sense distance between a certain friendship, and you're not really understanding why it's happened this way, but you feel it's time to step away from something. Either they're being too negative or too judgy, or, you know, they're going through something behind the scenes and they're like taking it out and projecting it on you. I feel like you've been there for that person and you're like, okay, look, I got my own stuff that I'm dealing with as well. I can't just deal with everybody's stuff right now. I got to take a step back. So it could be even like a temporary like step back on something that has disappointed you, or, you know, you just feel like it's challenging. So you just need to focus on something regarding you right now. I mean, it can be anything really, but if you are in a career where there are lots of redundancies going on, I do feel like the industry, it is changing. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. We can all see it across the board in the world, but I feel there is some sort of like official kind of opportunity coming in for you, or some sort of role. I mean, Emperor energy is promotion, okay? So this could be someone in a very high rank position, seeing what you're capable of, seeing your talent, knowing that, you know, you're honest, you're hardworking, and also you have great ideas. You're someone who, you know, you or a maverick. You know, this is a card to see beyond. It's a card that stays ahead of the game, of the industry. So it can be someone in high ranking position really wants to elevate you, and you may even have a conversation with that person at some sort of work event, and they kind of like say, that Capricorn, I want to know more about that Capricorn. They intrigue me. I really want to give them an opportunity. So I feel For some of you, there could even be this energy of a boss like testing you, and it feels like it's hard. And you're like, what? Why are they doing this? This is really like frustrating me. But actually, they're testing you because there's a role coming up and they want to see if you're capable for that. Now, of course, if anyone is overstepping a mark or being rude or micromanaging or doing anything that perhaps is super negative, I feel you'll call it out. I mean, this is a card of adjudication. So it means you may take it to HR and say, hang on a minute, something needs to change here. So for some of you, you could be taking something to HR. And if you're an entrepreneur, for example, it could be that you are looking at the nature of your industry and feeling that there is a shift. So you're being flexible with that and finding new ideas that you're enthusiastic about and you feel that your clients or, your customers would love, and you're trialing something and you're just going to judge it to see how it goes. But actually everybody loves it. Okay. So it could be that, you discontinue something in order to embrace the new thing. Okay. Now also, like, bringing it back to like life and people and us, as in like what we connect to. This could be that for some of you, a product or a service that you really love gets discontinued this month, and you're like, this is so frustrating. Just when I find something that works, it's discontinued. But actually, with that 10 of Pentacles, I feel if you search for it elsewhere, once it's discontinued, of course, it stands to reason it's going to be much more money, maybe even double, which is really frustrating. However, I feel it will be only a matter of time before whoever has discontinued it releases something new. And actually, you feel that the new product is even better, and it will be for half the price. Okay, so that's coming out there as well. Now, coming to the adjudication card, I feel this is you kind of judging your situation, because that 9th house is like, okay, this is life. And, there's got to be more to this. So I feel the judging energy is you kind of like weighing up your options right now, and from a higher perspective as well. But some of you could actually be judging people in your life right now. And, with the 3 of Swords there, and it is in the resistance position, I want you to be aware of that. So it can be that, you're judging a person who's let you down, and you're like wondering whether you should like cut them loose or whether you should give them another chance. Well, it depends on, their history and their past, because I always say that, I can be a wonderful person, right? But sometimes it depends on the behavior that is directed towards me, because we all have access to that, like, anger or frustration, and we can all be a little bit snappy sometimes. Humans, we have a range of emotions, and it normally means like I can be in a really great mood, but if someone oversteps a mark or is rude or something like that, I can be harsh. I can like say some cross words that will cut a person down. I don't mean to hurt them, but I'll give them the truth. I'm not a saint, so I try to make sure that I lead in my highest regard. I'm not going to hurt a person. I'm not going to go out there to be rude. But if someone says something or does something that I feel is against my principles, or is against something I stand for, or is basically trying to pull the wool over my eyes, that silver tongue is going to come out, and it is sharp. Okay, so for some of you, it could be that if someone's let you down or disappointed you, you may be judging how to approach this situation. And I feel with that high honor, there's this like interesting energy coming out from you, Capricorn, and perhaps it's something you've been through. It's like you're long in the tooth and you don't want a knee-jerk reaction to this, so you feel that being angry only hurts you. Okay, because the other person can hear what you're saying, but ultimately you're feeling the rage or the emotions. So it could be that you're actually just stepping away in high honor and saying, you know what, I'm just not even getting involved in this. And it makes them feel more disappointed about themselves, because they're like, well, I wanted a reaction, because I feel whoever this is, they probably wanted a reaction and you're not giving it to them. And I feel that, you're doing things for yourself, prioritizing your own needs. And actually this teaches them more than you being angry, because we can like be angry at a person and they can repeat a cycle. But when you go, you know what, I just don't feel anything about this situation anymore. I just can't. You know what? I just got other stuff going on that's like way more important right now. And you're not doing it to hurt them, but at the same time, it gives them something to think about, like, whoa, okay, I've obviously pushed Capricorn too far. to the point where they're really distancing or like segregating from the relationship in some way and just severing things, that gives them something to really think about. So I feel for some of you, there is an energy of a person who let you down or disappointed you in some way, and you've given them something to think about. And they could come back towards the end of March and really offer an olive branch, because there is an apology here for you for something. I mean, it doesn't have to be a family member or friend. It could be a boss, could be a neighbor. I mean, it could be that you walk into a coffee store and they say, look, I spelt your name wrong last week. I'm really sorry, okay? You could be like frustrated. I mean, that's a really minor thing. I'm just trying to give you an example that it doesn't always have to be close to home, right? But this card, I mean, for some of you, you could be applying for a permit, or you could be applying for an extension on something. For some of you, you could be going for an interview if you're putting your resume out there, trying to find opportunities, especially if you've been made redundant, for example, or you've been laid off in the past, because that's something that would have already happened before coming to March. And I see here that there is a recovery, because the Three of Swords in the resistance position is always the recovery energy. And if you are out of work, I do see like a big opportunity coming your way, something that has a really high status, managerial role or more. Could be a partner in a company, for example. For some of you, because we start with two people here and in the end there is an emperor, some of you, if you are in a business partnership, this could be you dissolving a partnership with a person in business, or, it could be that you're going solo, or if you work for a company, you're deciding to leave that company in order to either set up your own business, become a contractor, or, do your own thing, basically. But with this card, it means there's structure. It means that you may have to officiate something, apply for something, or some of you are looking at generational wealth this month, okay? It could be that you're trying to find ways to launch new things in order to create generational wealth, because that Ten of Pentacles is all about keeping the money in the family unit. And this could be you creating a structure or finding a person who can help you legally to set up that structure and set things in motion. I mean, looking at the energy, I just get this kind of like Big Ten energy, like you finish like first past a finish line, because I'm just seeing a finish line. I keep seeing it, the flag, it says finish and someone crossing it. So it just feels like you either get the permit or you get the extension or you get the job, or, I mean, you could be auditioning for something or have a big meeting for something. You may feel judged initially, but I feel that whoever is interviewing you, they're being harsh because they want to see, can you be distracted or put off your game by challenging environments or challenging approaches? And of course, you're bringing your A game. Nothing is going to, stress you out, or it's like you're unflappable in that meeting or that interview. So congratulations. I feel like you will get whatever it is that you're focusing on at this time. Now, Three of Swords in the resistance position, of course, it indicates that, something that was challenging becomes easier, okay? And also some of you are going through a personal, like, reshaping of your landscape or world. Something has changed within you, okay? And it can indicate that you are acting accordingly. And with that Three of Swords in the resistance position, it can indicate that, times have been hard, times have been challenging, and you've tried your best. And sometimes it feels like your best is not good enough, but this month you'll actually see the evidence that what you're doing is making a difference, okay? So whatever it is that you've been suffering with or having difficulty with, I definitely see that, there will be a more manageable energy and things start to flourish, or you're seeing evidence that, you're on target. Now, of course, with the Three of Swords and the adjudication card, it can indicate that you seek higher counsel on something. Perhaps it's something medical. Could be that, you're waiting for results on something and something has been like challenging for a while, but it's being reviewed at this time. And then with that Temperance card, I mean, for some of you, it could be like fluctuating hormones, or it could be like something's been a little bit off, or you just felt like 1 minute you're fine, the next minute you're not. And I just get this energy of you like reaching some sort of pinnacle point where a person like identifies or diagnoses whatever it is that you're dealing with, and now you can manage it more, because that Temperance card can indicate that everything comes into review but also is balanced out. And finally, you get someone who is very direct. I would say that this person, they're like all about the knowledge, and they're all about like getting you seen, getting you dealt with, and like healing you and on. Like there's no, I don't want to give it to you like this, but I have to. It's like there's no bedside manner with this person. They're very abrupt. They're like, okay, so these are the symptoms. This is what's happening. Okay, we'll run these diagnostic tests and this is it. And okay, right, we got the results back and this is what we got to do. And thank you very much and bye now. So it's really kind of like this person, there's no compassion. So it feels like this person's also overworked, but I do feel that they are on it when it comes to their diagnosis. So it could be something that they help you manage more this month too. I mean, the Temperance card is also connected to this sense of purpose and you re-examining your priorities in life. So if you feel like you've been drifting right now, or you have a goal in mind, whether that goal is financial security, buying a home, going into property, passive income, retiring for some of you, because the 10 can be that, you know, you've given your whole life and dedicated yourself to work and you're like exhausted. And although, you know, you're excited to retire, you're also a little bit nervous about the economy and, you know, the finances that you have. And it's a big shift. It means, you know, that you're working on a different pace, which is wonderful. You get to really connect to who you are, learn more about yourself, and have the space and time to really think about that as well, invest in yourself more and in your family. But also it can make you feel like, you know, at odds with yourself and your friends. Perhaps your friends are not retiring at the same age, or it just feels like, okay, you got a lot of time to think now, and you start thinking back at all the time and energy that you gave to your job and your work and, you know, your sense of purpose and finances. And now you're like, oh my gosh, you know, that was a lot. And now you want to like see more people, see more things, which of course you can do, but seeing people, if they're not on the time frame that you're on, it can be hard to like find you know, a pace that fits everybody. So you're trying to adjust to pace at this time. I mean, I feel a lot of you are adjusting to pace this month. I do feel like you're going to be super busy, very organized, but at the same time, I feel like you leave the month going, you know what, I did it, I conquered it, I got it done, and you're going to be so proud of yourself, whatever that is, okay? Now, a lot of you, if you are in a career, I do see promotion vibes, and if you are looking for a job, I see a role that brings in like high amount of money for the role that it is, and also some sort of title that you feel proud of. But also with that Emperor energy, I feel like there is more to come in the future. I feel like you are increasing in some way. I mean, we have high honor there, so it really feels like something that you're shooting for, you're going to accomplish, okay? With that 10 of Pentacles, a lot of you, it's more money. So there could be a bonus, like in the works, okay? Now, economically, things, you know, looking a little bit like not as good as usual, let's put it that way. Bonuses may be hard to come by, but there may be some sort of incentive that comes in, maybe a small increase in your wages or inflation in some way. You know, there could be a fluctuation there, or I mean, it could be that you're told about some sort of quarterly bonus. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur or you deal in like stocks and things, there could be some sort of dividend that comes in and gives you extra money, because the 10 of Pentacles is like you using your wealth of knowledge to increase your abundance. So it could be that you are looking at what you know, you are high ranking at whatever it is that you do. Okay, so, you know, even if you're retired, you've reached a certain level and you have a lot of knowledge. And this is something that you could set to create, whether it's a book or a how-to, like a manual or even a blog, or, you know, you have a wealth of knowledge at your fingertips, but also in your brain, because you're super intelligent and you have a high IQ. So even, you know, whether you're working right now or whether you're looking for a job or whether you are retiring, it could be that you're using the knowledge that you have to actually bring in more finances. And a lot of you may put that knowledge online. You know, Queen of Swords is of the ether, the air. So it could be that you're excited about learning new like software or programs, and you're like either guiding other people on how to, because the Emperor has got to a certain level where he knows a lot of stuff because he's been through some stuff. And this doesn't have to be like the ins and outs of technical jargon. It can be your life experience. It can be, you know, the pitfalls of relationships or running too quickly in life and missing things. Or it can be, you know, an area of expertise that you have found yourself in and that you're talented at. So whatever it is, I feel like you have the ability to utilize that and create more money there with that 10 of Pentacles. But also I feel, you know, Ten of Pentacles is about mastery. So it can be that, you know, you're someone who is already very gifted and now you're building in your wealth. You could be putting yourself on a course of learning in order to reach for a qualification, certification, or even, you know, some sort of like high honor position, which I feel like you will absolutely get. So I want to say congratulations in advance if this is something that you're studying for right now. And if it's not, I definitely see it's something that you will be studying for and you will find the right course. Okay, so you could be judging which course is right for you, what's more aligned with your path right now, and you're just thinking about what is it that you want as your end game. So if you have been drifting or you've been, you know, some people say drifting, you know, I say that sometimes we need to get a little bit lost in life in order to rediscover ourselves, you know, because if we're just told that we should do this, this, and this, and we just follow that structure, then we're all going to be the same, okay? And, you know, life is all about the alternative. It's about experience. It's about being here and enjoying it and follow your heart. And everyone's got a different talent, a different gift, a different speciality, and a different desire. And I feel like this is about you finding your desire and saying, I want that. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm shooting for. And then you accomplish it. I mean, these are cards of success. This means that you are, you know, on target for something that is going to be very rewarding long term, but also secure with that Ten of Pentacles. Now, of course, fourth house, Ten of Pentacles could be all about real estate. So some of you could be going into passive income, but also this is the big philosophical question again about where you feel like you belong. So it could be you looking at your home or your neighborhood and saying, do I love where I'm at? You know, and if not, you know, the Five of Cups is to let go of something, to embrace something else that is even better and more rewarding. So some of you could be letting go of things this month. And as I mentioned, it doesn't always have to be like this big thing where you're leaving the neighborhood and moving into a new apartment. It can be that you're, you know, disconnecting a service that you feel actually, you know what, it's not working. I used to love it, but I don't love it anymore. It's changed and I've changed and, you know, it's not you, it's me, but really it's them. You know what I mean? I'm just getting that energy there from this card. But also this could be that you're leaving a comfort zone because the comfort zone is no longer fulfilling. It can feel like, you know, things have been challenging and difficult and you've been staying in your lane. But if you stay in your lane, it's going to be the same. So maybe this is about you saying, you know what, you're throwing caution to the wind to some degree, but that Queen of Swords is like, it's a calculated risk. It means you're doing something bold and daring, but you've thought about it, okay? You may have even lined up people or situations ready to go for whatever it is, you know? Some of you, it may be legal representatives. You know, if you're going through a court case, for example, lead with high honor. You will get compensated. I do see that things go in your favor and get the best counsel that you can afford. For some of you, there's an energy here of pro bono as well. So that's coming through there too, depending on what you're dealing with. But the Five of Cups indicates let go of the thing that's hurting you. So this could be a substance, this could be a person, this could be an environment where you're like, oh, why does it have to be so hard? You know, I feel this is about you learning to let go or release something that's been challenging, and the universe will acknowledge this and bring you something you deserve more, okay? But this is the acknowledgement, you know, it's having the courage to say, this is no longer working for me. And when you do that, and like many years ago, and, you know, I kid you not, if someone had said that to me many years ago, I would say, I don't believe it. Nope, don't believe it. Nope, I'm just doing what I'm doing. And that's what I was doing. And, you know, suddenly I had a tower moment in my life and everything changed. And I was like, well, what do I do now? And then the universe was like, well, be still. And I was like, well, I got nothing else going on. I was pretty much losing everything all left, right, and center. But, you know, all I could do was be still because I was scared. And, you know, but this weird calmness came over me like, you know what? It's going to be okay. And suddenly the universe did start to deliver opportunities, people, experiences that I had fought for many years that never came. It was just too hard. And I tried. And believe me, I tried. Like sometimes I was doing like 2-3 jobs and I was like having hardly any sleep. I was trying to make life work and I was like trying to just crush it because life was crushing me. Things are challenging right now. The world is changed. In the last couple of years, everything is like extra pressure and something's got to give. And I feel for some of you, this is about you kind of like trusting in the process. Easier said than done, I know. But thoughts become things and you're starting with that Queen of Swords. So it's like this deep thought, like I know what I want now. I'm going to lock on to that one thing and I'm going to take one step towards it because of course, you know, the universe will meet you halfway. But in that sort of like moment of stillness where you say, I know what I want. I know what I'm capable of and what I'm going to achieve. The universe says, yes, you will. Yes, you will. You'll get to your destination. You'll get to the position that you want to be in. So a lot of you, this could be that, you know, you're moving up the ranks in life. You're upgrading. It doesn't have to be an upgrade in like every area of your life. It can be something like an upgrade of a cell phone that will help you with your business, or an upgrade of a car, or perhaps it's an upgrade of, you know, a status in your working environment, or perhaps an extra certification and qualification to help you reach the next stage. Whatever it is, I see that you're letting go of something that just isn't working anymore because you know it's the right thing for you, and you are going to be rewarded with something better. I mean, the 10 of Pentacles there as well, it can indicate and I'm sending you a huge hug out there if you've been dealing with this. If you've come to this reading and someone has passed away or transitioned and you're having to deal with the inheritance and, oh my gosh, look at that. I'll show it to you in a moment. I'm just really nicely surprised. It coincides with the image I saw for you. But if you are going through having to deal with the legalities of inheritance or, you know, someone's estate, it's challenging, it's hard. So some of you are in this like weird kind of disassociated kind of like business mode mindset where you have to do something, you have to get something done. But at the same time, you know, there is that little part of you that is kind of like trying to find your way in this. And if someone or something is making this a challenging environment, like you have people in the family contesting things, or if things are challenging, or even if the outcome was challenging, I feel like you're still leading with, you know, your best integrity. And I feel like you will come out top. You know, there's this energy of some things you just got to let go of and say, okay, you know what, just let it be as it's going to be. Because fighting it, of course, you know, if it's the right thing to do, then go for it. I always say, you know, if that's what you feel is right, then do what you absolutely feel you need to do. But leading with integrity, I feel with that 10 of Pentacles, you come out top trumps on this. And it's not really a fight you wanted to have, but the 5 of Cups can indicate that suddenly people that you thought you knew, they disappoint you. You know, they shock you or change you, especially when money is involved, because that 10 of Pentacles is there. And the 5 of Cups is like, you'd rather not lose a friendship or relationship over money, okay? But at the same time, you know, you're trying to rise above something and protect yourself. And yeah, I feel some of you may be going through that right now, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there, but the best outcome will prevail. So I want you to be aware of that, okay? Now, finally, we got checkered flag, as I saw the finish line earlier, which is really wonderful. So it says here, conclusion, outcome, finale, completion, verdict. Okay, some of you, as I mentioned earlier, verdict coming out there, settled, results, signaling, the end, finishing first. Excellent. Achievement, culmination, final chapter, ending, and feeling relieved. Okay, so all of that pretty much came out in your reading. So, you know, these images, they may mean nothing to me or you in this moment. And I'm like, why am I being given a finish line? And then everything starts to make sense. You may even see like a flag like that in your month ahead. But we have roadblock. Okay. So I did mention briefly like something being a little bit challenging, or something like you feeling a little bit stuck or drifting, but I do feel that this is giving you time to kind of like remove a block. For some of you, it could be a money block. It says here, blocked change, barriers, challenges, time to regroup, struck, obstacles, stalling. I mean, if anyone is stalling on payment or anything like that, I feel like you may kind of like send an email or an officiated document stating that they need to pay up, you know, like a final demand letter. That did come up in the reading, but perhaps it's something you have to send and it will be corrected. You will get the money. I want you to be aware, especially if you're freelance and you're like, they owe me money and they haven't paid. They're going to be stepping up this month. You may have to send them a little nudge reminder saying, you know, just to remind you, you only have 28 days or however many days to pay this before I seek counsel. And they were like, they're going to get you that money so quick. But it says here, you know, setback. It says temporary setback, taking a detour. Some things are not right now. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So it may feel like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, but actually I feel like, you know, you're going to be right where you need to be for the opportunity that's about to come your way. We have coin toss. which is all about choices, of course, making a decision. And, you know, coin toss is leaving it up to fate. So some of you, it's about trusting the process, but also I would say intuitively making the right decisions for you as well. It says choice, either or, being fair, considering pros and cons of something, fate equal, two sides to every story, butterfly effect, either way it's a 50-50 chance, unpredictable, you can't decide, but you take a chance. Okay, I feel it's a calculated risk that you're taking. I mentioned that earlier. We got castle there. So a lot of you, your fourth house, you're thinking about your home. Your home is your castle. So, you know, it is the place that you reside or take rest or take stock of things or plan your next move. So it's important to make sure that, you know, you feel like you should be there and there is nothing that makes you feel like it's time to leave. It says pride, recognition, position, praise for achievements. Definitely. We got wealth, ancestry, antiquity, history, legacy, architecture, power, prestige, isolation, the old guard, timeless. So you could be isolating yourself in order to not have any distractions this month, but also you could be thinking about your legacy, you know, your reputation, but also your family heritage, your lineage. You know, I feel a lot of you are doing something your family never did, or you're going to be doing something that your family don't understand or have never done before, but it's going to be so rewarding and you're following your own path. We've got discipline, okay, so that's the mastering a craft or being in the flow for something. And we got that Emperor energy, so high ranking or being in charge, taking charge of your life, being successful, structuring, being strict with yourself. I mean, the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles means you're being strict with your finances as well, so being able to save a little bit more money. But the Five of Wands is a very interesting card to come with that because it can indicate, you know, money is an energy. Got to give out a little bit to get in a little bit, you know, what is it? Speculate to accumulate that energy. So you may be treating yourself to something because of course you need to nourish yourself, but also some of you may be investing some money into something to grow something with potential. So yeah, it could be that as well. It says smart, focus, structure, teaching, training. I did mention, you know, that there that could bring in more money, conquering something, overcoming something, controlling something, learning a skill, being in the flow, authoritarian, commanding presence. Okay. Now I have to give it to you straight there as well. With that commanding presence, it's just made me have an energy come through of someone who's in like a high-ranking position, whether it's a boss or a landlord or someone. There could be this energy here of someone trying to unfairly do something, you know, but I feel this person, it's almost like they could get caught doing it, but at the same time, they have a very strong legal counsel, which means that they can actually make it happen in a different way. I don't know what I'm talking about with that, but that's something that's coming through. So just be mindful of that. Just lead with high integrity, document everything that you're going through, and make sure you have times, dates, and all of those things, because I feel it will come out. And the Five of Cups can indicate that, you know, you will be rewarded or you will win part of it, but also you may not win all of it. You know what I mean? So it could be that sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. And there is a split down the center here where it means like there is to some degree a fair outcome, but also I feel like there's an energy where, you know, you don't win at all. Okay. It's something connected specifically to like either a boss or a landlord. Okay, or landlady. It doesn't have to be gender specific, but because we got the Emperor there, it could be someone who is like all about the business and is trying to do something that perhaps they've done it the wrong way, and you call them out on it, and then they're like, okay. And if things have got to like a court case proceeding, it can indicate that, you know, they find a loophole. Let's put it that way. Okay, I'm just going to leave it like that. And finally, we got bedroom. Hello. Okay, because we've got the marriage card there. For some of you, there could be like sparks. We've got chemistry between a new person. If you're looking for love, I definitely see you will be talking to someone new. Also, this can indicate that basically you are spending more time resting, okay? But also there's other things that could be occurring in the bedroom there. But it says fulfillment, intimacy, pleasure, love affair for some of you. I mean, looking at the energy, for some of you, there could be someone who tries to flirt with you and they got somebody. But looking at the energy with that Queen of Swords, you know this person and you know that they have a partner. So they could overstep a mark, especially if there is substances involved here. I feel like looking at your outcome, you do the best thing, the high honor. I feel like you turn this person down, but you also call them out and say, look, you need to behave yourself, okay? Because there is a judgment card there. We've also got sleep on it, take a nap, better sleep, contentment, alone time, oasis, retiring, dream time, astral travel, and calling it a day on something. Okay, so that really connects to all of your reading right now. So I would say, there's a lot going on, but please apply it to your situation, because I feel it's going to be a very promising month for you. A lot of success coming in. But I also feel you worked really hard for it. Sometimes people say, oh, you're really lucky. And you're like, no. Do you know how hard it is to run my life? Do you see all the things that I've been doing? The late nights, the planning, the strategy, the frustrating times where things didn't go well. I had to set back and I had to regroup and re-envisage and, all of those things. I feel like you're doing a great job, my beautiful Capricorn, and you should be really proud of yourself. You're certainly going to be proud of you when you leave the month. Okay, so we have the infinity sign here. This could be relevant, okay? You may see this a lot in March. There are infinite possibilities for you to tap into this month, but also I feel infinite energy. You're a really strong person, and I feel like you're approaching your month and just taking it down. You're making it work the way you want it to. And also we got the bear, okay? So the bear can indicate that some of you are doing some inner child work this month, and it can be that, you are trying to have a little more fun, more spontaneity, opening up that playful side of yourself. But also this can be like a measure of comfort. You striving for comfort and reaching it there as well. Also the bear can represent a need to soften a little bit more. You're someone who's super independent. You show up in life and you defend yourself. You're doing it all by yourself right now. And sometimes that hardens us because we're independent and we feel like no one's coming to save us. So we got to be like that, right? But there are going to be lots of periods in March for you to soften, to let a person in, to meet new people. Some of you are doing some hobbies or creative endeavors this month, which will actually integrate you into the community or, help you meet people. I feel like you build a strong alliance or friendship this month that will be for life. Okay. So I just feel there's this energy of softening as well. Okay. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates. Thank you so much, my beautiful Capricorn, and love and light.